yay. So good to be back with Zoe. Oh my gosh, we are in the midst of some amazing astrological happenings. And Zoe and I have been kind of talking about it as we were teeing up, getting ready for this recording. And so much is happening that has to do with transmutation, transformation, this whole, I know I've talked about it, so pretty much everybody has heard about it now, this thing that's happening with the planets at 4 degrees, 4 degrees, Neptune at 4 degrees Aries. We've got Uranus at 4 degrees Gemini. We've got uh, Pluto at 4 degrees Aquarius and Jupiter at 4 degrees Leo. And in fact, Jupiter and Pluto are in opposition to each other, which is it's like a full moon effect from what happened in 2020 when they came together in Capricorn. 3 times they did that. 3 times they made that conjunction, and that's kind of unusual. They usually don't. They usually maybe meet once, and then it's 13 years before they meet again. So here we are, about maybe almost 6.5 years later, and they're coming into opposition to each other, exact on July 20th, but they stay kind of in opposition for a little while. So they'll be in opposition at the full moon on July 29. And also, there's something I think I'm forgetting. Jupiter today, as we're doing this recording, has reached the 4 degree mark. So this is called the Barbault Basket. That's what everybody's been calling it anyway. And there was a astrologer, Andre Barbault, a French astrologer, who saw this back in 1979. And he wrote a book about it and talked a lot about how it was. I think that we could say the essence, if we're going to sum up, what does it mean? People want to know, what does it mean? It's a massive leap in consciousness, the possibility for a massive leap in consciousness that changes everything. And so I'm always for that. I always think that's a great idea. And sometimes we have these things come and go, and we don't necessarily notice what's happened or how it's happened. It's maybe more of a slow roll. It's not like a sudden, oh, look, everybody's enlightened now. But and we're recording this as I said, this is on July 17th. The Venus and the moon are coming together today. So tonight, if you hear this before, this is all, you get to go see the moon and Venus if you have clear skies. It's cloudy here, but um, at the third eye chakra, also about vision and perception and creating magic, and so it's like all working together in such an extraordinary way. The other thing that's happening as we get closer to the full moon is on the 26th of July, the North Node is moving into Aquarius as the South Node moves into Leo. So the nodal axis is shifting, and it always moves backwards. So it's going to be at 29 degrees of those signs. And that means that eventually Jupiter and the South Node are going to be together. It also means eventually Pluto and the North Node are going to be together, but that'll be a little while down the road. And the thing that's really inspiring me about this right now is the fact that July 26th happens to be the Mayan day out of time. I mean, sorry, Mayan New Year. July 26th is the Mayan New Year. The day before, on July 25th, is the Mayan day out of time, meaning they have a calendar. They call it the 13 moon calendar, 13 months with 28 days, not really tracking the moon cycle, but they have whatever ways that they're doing that. But that gives you, if you take 13 months of times 28 days, you get 364 days. We we have a 365-day calendar, but it's actually 365 and a quarter days. So I don't know how they make up for that quarter day. We have a leap year in the Gregorian calendar, and that's what makes up for it. But anyway, it's just like it happens to be syncing with this the ending of a year cycle for the Mayan calendar and the beginning of a new year cycle So July 25th, that day out of time, that pause of like, oh, how do we step out of time? And not recognize it as something specific, and then restart again the next day as the nodes are moving into Aquarius Leo. And then we'll have 3 days later, we'll have the Aquarius full moon. And the sun will be conjunct Jupiter and the moon will be conjunct Pluto. They're still in pretty close opposition to each other. And so this whole Aquarian ideal of of an expansion of consciousness and so on is so illuminated at this time through this month into next month. And in fact, I think it's August 15th when Mercury catches up to Jupiter in Leo. So, so this is going to go on. It's going to go on into the next couple of years, but we're in a massive um, reset point this month right now. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Zoe to help read on what does it mean?
Yeah. Well, before I do that, I want to ask you, what do you think the impact of the new moon in Cancer that we had has to do with all of this?
Yeah, it's significant, partly because that new moon was in the sacred hoop of stars, on the edge of the sacred hoop of stars, where I did a video. I'll put the link in the show notes with somebody who has been adopted by the Lakota Dakota people and has worked with the sacred hoop, and we've done videos before, but the opportunity to birth something new, and that the sacred hoop of stars is all about that. So not only is it in Cancer, which has to do with parenting or birthing or that, how do we create something new and nurture it and take care of it and see it grow and evolve. But that it was happens to be in that part of the sky as well. So I feel like that something big was being birthed or being energized at that time. New moons are often the seed point. So, um, but more babies are born at the full moon, but there are a lot of babies that are born at the new moon. The second most time that people are born happens to be the new moon, and then the quarter moons are a lot less. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for asking that. So since we're in this time of birthing, this time of, I mean, here's Jupiter showing up at the top of the reading. So we're just going to say this is the theme here because it just came out, right? So expansion, prosperity, growth. So that's the time we're in. So with all of these things happening, one of the things I wanted to know, and I'm outside, so you might hear a car or something drive by. One of the things that I wanted to know is what doors are closing and what doors are opening with this energy. So what doors are, the universe, the guides, whatever we all believe in, how are they conspiring to help us with our growth, with our expansion, with our prosperity by closing doors that need to be closed, right? And opening new doors. So interesting when I ask, do you want to say something?
I was just going to say, I love that because the doors that are closing are on the past, and the doors that are opening are on the future.
As we go into the North Node, South Node, wow, goosebumps. Okay. So it made me very happy to see one of the doors that's closing is the Hanged Man energy. And so obviously some of us, even though it's funny because things feel like they're moving very fast, but for me, there also has been a slowness about it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, if sometimes folks feel like they're actually walking through mud, or I'm hearing like sludge, or why aren't things moving faster? Why aren't, right? Why am I not advancing? Why do I not feel expansive? Right? And so, this Hanged Man energy for me is about looking at things from a higher perspective, looking at things from a different perspective, But just in the sort of what doors are closing, I'm going to just take it as this hangman energy, this feeling stuck energy is coming to a close.
Yay.
Specifically around, so we have the Black Madonna, the sacred dark goddess mother. So this was in reverse. So this is really about living into your divine feminine. And so for me, with this being in reverse, with the hangman, with what doors are closing, I feel like this is our invitation to fully step into that dark feminine energy, to stop hiding from it, to stop hiding from our power, to stop hiding from our abilities, to, you know, stop being afraid of those shadow aspects of ourself. I also feel like the current events, what's happening in our world, what's happening with the planet, it's obviously harder and harder to put our head in the sand and pretend that certain things are not happening. It's we keep getting beckoned. I'm like, come outside, come see. I think last month's reading was look up, like pay attention to what's going on. So this sort of fear of our own power, which perhaps we feel stuck and sludgy because we're not really living yet, right? We're not really living in the fullness of our power. So the potential here, so those doors are closing. Of course, we got to walk through them.
Well, and it looks like the stuck energy of the masculine and the feminine, because the hanged man, right? And then the Black Madonna, who has also not always been completely honored. Oh, look at that matriarchy. Oh, that's good. That's good. Anyway, and I will say I have felt stuck with this cough and this viral thing that I've been having for the last 17 days now. I'm like, my God, is it ever going to be done? And here it is, and that's what I'm going through, clearing out the throat chakra as we get ready to, as we're today moving into the third eye chakra from the Venus perspective, from the Venus cycle perspective. So, but this balancing of the masculine, feminine, and closing the doors on the stuck energy and or energy that is not helpful or supportive to open the doors for maybe what is.
Yeah, 100%. And just as if the door is open, we have to walk through it. If the door is closed, what that means is, especially when we're in a retrograde, don't call your ex. Like, don't don't call those people that you know don't like you, right? Like the door is closed, like the universe has closed it, your guides have closed it. Don't go back. Don't do that, right? Because it's just going to lead to this hangman energy again, right? Then you got to just start back all over again. You got to climb back up in the tree. You got to hang yourself upside down. You have to look at things from a different perspective. And it's like, don't do that. And I'm talking to myself. Let's not do
Right.
that. Right?
Okay, got it.
I mean, I'm talking to y'all too, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's no separation. Okay, so that's the door that's closing. The doors that are opening, how exciting. So we have Katesh here, sacred lust. I mean, I just feel like this goes so perfect with this divine, this dark goddess energy in reverse, right? Like really moving from being afraid to show our power to, feeling sexual, sensual, whatever that means to us, to really just allowing ourselves to be free. So the door is opening for a new sense of freedom. Oh, and I never noticed she was on top of the
There's no
lion.
alignment. And we've got
Hello, Leo
Jupiter,
season.
so, very cool.
Yeah, and
Um,
I. Mhm.
well, I just wanted to say that there's this idea that has been perpetrated through the patriarchy and through some of the some of the religious teachings of specific ways of looking at things. The Madonna is pure, and and Magdalene was the whore. So we had the pure aspect of the feminine, and then and so basically disconnecting women from their lower chakras, wanting them to just be connected to their upper chakras. So to me it feels like the door may be opening on how we get reconnected to all of it.
I agree. Um, I was just looking at the what the book says and the cards because I don't think I've ever really pulled this before. So I'm, anytime I see a serpent, I'm excited. So there's our transformation, right? All of that Pluto energy, all of that scorpionic energy, right? Embracing all of that. Again, I find it interesting that she's standing on the lion, that Leo energy. I don't quite know what that lion is supposed to symbolize. This is the Egyptian deck, so I'm not sure, but Goddess Katesh is the mistress of the goddess. She's the Egyptian goddess of sacred sexuality, ecstasy, and fertility. Her two men are the fertility gods Min and Montu, the god of war. And it says, you are an erotic creature. You have a divine right to experience sensual ecstasy. It's sacred to give and receive pleasure. Now, give and receive is interesting because the other card we got about the door opening is Ma'at, giving
Oh,
and receiving. And we know that Ma'at is, it is principles. It is a principle system. And the thing about what this image is talking about is, when we pass away, in order for us to go to the next level, our heart needs to be lighter than a feather. And here's Ma'at in the middle balancing everything out, right? And so we want to give and receive in equal measure. So these are the doors that are opening, allowing ourselves to give and receive sensual pleasure, allowing ourselves to, with the Venus energy, I'm going to just leave it with the sensual, and sensual can obviously be sexual, but it could also be the aesthetics of sensuality that Venus actually really loves. Perfume, whatever you need to do to make yourself feel whatever, a bath, whatever. Like, treat yourself with that, right? No more of like staying stuck. What I'm hearing is the old image of ourselves that maybe it is because of those, like you're saying, the Madonna whore complex, the lessons of patriarchy and those things. Those doors seem to be closing and inviting us into more fun, more excitement, more sensuality. I also heard more creativity, especially with this Leo, this lion here. It makes me feel like Leo, creativity, fertility, right? Fertility isn't just babies, it can be books, it can be movies, right? So don't call your ex, write that script.
I love that. And
Okay.
also, yes, and creativity can be sensual as well. So it's the pleasure of creating, the pleasure of
Yes.
connecting, the pleasure of being in co-creation and collaboration with others. So that I love this, the sensual
Yeah.
aspect of it, the pleasure of living life. What's the pleasure of living life for you?
That's exactly right. And what they're saying is these doors are closing, and so it is safe to be sensual. It is safe to be sexual. It is safe to be creative. So maybe like doing a book like The Artist's Way. If you're an artist, it's about moving through artistic blocks. So just doing things again to connect you to your sensual, your humanness, really. Yeah,
Yeah, beautiful.
that's what I got.
That's what you got? Oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah, yeah. This is great.
Yeah. So, well, thank you, Zoe. And I'm just hoping that everybody finds this as it's like everybody's talking about this. So I know you can see it and go find other people talking about it. And I've talked about it. I've got some videos I'll put in the show notes about it. But and it has, Jupiter and Leo, it's about self-love. How are we increasing our ability to love who we are? And even when we're going through difficult times, even when you have a cough for 17 days, or some days are easier than others, just saying. But anyway, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Love this and hope everybody else gets
Good.
something out of it as well. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.